Hey guys, this is Miss Faiai. Let's go over week 2 instructions. So this is the hyperdoc. The hyperdoc is just the instructions page, so you don't have to do anything on this document. It's going to take you step by step through each of the assignments due this week. So we're jumping into William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. This week you're going to read Act 1. Okay. Remember, if you have any questions, you can send me a message on Jupiter Grades, email me. I have the discussion boards posted. I'll add that on this hyperdoc in a moment. And then you can also text me. Let's look at your assignments this week. So for week 2, I want you guys to do a check-in. You're going to do an introduction to Shakespeare and then a Romeo and Juliet Act 1 assignment. I also have additional info. You do not have to do anything with these assignments. I have little stars next to them. They're just there to help you. Okay, when you start this, you'll see that the YouTube video will be linked here or on my face. The little icon right here on the left, you can click on those for the YouTube version, but I'm also posting MP4 versions on Google Classroom, so definitely check those out. Your first assignment worth points. I learned a lot from last week. So your first assignment is worth 20 points. I have the points right here at the top of the page. You're going to want to go ahead and do a quick check-in. This is how I'm taking attendance. So you're going to click on this Google form. It's here, and then it's also on the icon. Fill out the survey. Let me know how you're doing. It looks like this. Okay, so very, very easy for students to do. I changed up the questions a little bit, but some of them are the same because I do definitely want to know how you're doing each week because we haven't seen each other and I'm used to seeing you guys and I miss you guys a whole lot. The second thing I want you to do, we're going to jump right into Shakespeare this week, is you're going to do a quick introduction. It's a KWL chart. So if you don't remember, a KWL chart talks about what you know, what you want to know, and what you learn from information that I give to you or from information that you already know. So this assignment can actually be found in Google Classroom, and it looks like this. Okay, so I give you the instructions again here. You're going to want to start by telling me at least 3 things you know. So let me read the directions. Follow the steps below to complete your KWL chart with at least 3 entries in each column. So each column, I should see you writing 3 different things. Okay, so in the first column, the no column, that's our K column. I want you to write down everything you know, either about Shakespeare, William Shakespeare, about Romeo and Juliet, the play, and or about the Elizabethan era. So you can pick and choose which ones you want to write about. The middle section and step 2, you're going to go ahead and write what you want to know. So what is it that you want to know about William Shakespeare? What do you want to know about Romeo and Juliet? And what do you want to know about the Elizabethan era? That's the time that Shakespeare lived, and the times really do inspire what we write as writers, playwrights, screenwriters, people that write movies. They're really inspired by different time periods. So what is it that you want to know about that? When you're done, okay, with steps 1 and 2, you want to go on to step 3. In step 3, you're going to have to do some research. So you're going to go ahead and watch a quick video on YouTube, okay, about William Shakespeare. I also have, it looks like this. Let's try to upload that really quickly so you can see it. And I'm going to pause that.
So who was William Shakespeare again?
It's a really easy video, 2.5 minutes. Check it out. It's really helpful. Then the second thing I want you to look at is the official trailer for Romeo and Juliet. So again, this is a YouTube link. You might have to use a different device because I'm not able to really download these, but definitely check that out. We will be watching the movie together. I'm going to find a way for us to watch the movie together. And then the last thing is a slideshow that I usually would teach you guys in person, and it is about William Shakespeare, and I give you a quick overview of the time period, his life, what he did as a poet and a playwright, some interesting facts about theater, his family, a bunch of just interesting facts that students usually do enjoy, okay? And it will help you to understand the play a lot better. So that is that video. Let me come back over here and center my page. So after viewing all of these 3 things, I want you now to go to the final step, which is in the L column of the chart, the learned section. write down 3 things that you learned. Okay, 3 things that you learned, and it can be again all about Shakespeare, about Romeo and Juliet, or the Elizabethan era, or you can mix it up. Of course, you can write more than 3 things. That's up to you. Okay, but this is just kind of to get us in the mindset of learning about Shakespeare. All right, so that's the KWL chart. The next thing that I want you to do, and this, the KWL chart is going to be worth 30 points. Okay, it's right here on the top. And I will definitely provide you with the times for this video that you can just fast forward to the instructions over here on the left. So it says directions video time, and just you can fast forward your video to 3 minutes in. Ms. Faiai goes over the KWL chart if you want to review it. Okay, let's go to the next assignment, and this is worth 50 points, and I made it worth almost half of this week's points. Out of 100, it's going to be reviewing Act 1 or reading Act 1. So for Act 1, you're going to actually be using a hyperdoc, so a different document similar to this one, but the other one I'm going to give you, you can write on. Okay, and you're going to find that in the Google Classroom. Okay, just like you're going to find this assignment in the Google Classroom. And you can download copies for yourselves. Automatically, when you click on it, it downloads a copy, and I can see what you're working on. So download this in Google Classroom, and then I go over just kind of, there's 4 things you're going to do on the document. Okay, begin here, then you're going to do this next, next, finally. And then, of course, submit this in Google Classroom. Same thing with the intro to Shakespeare on the bottom, submit it to Google Classroom. So I have the little icons over here to remind you to submit your assignments in Google Classroom so that you don't forget. That's how you're going to be graded. I'm going to grade this in Google Classroom and then transfer it over to Jupyter Grades. I'll provide you with the video time again for when I start these directions, which is going to be happening right now. So in Google Classroom, that document is going to look like this. Okay, so the directions for this assignment, this 50 points assignment, you're going to definitely want to do this one, is I want you to first preview the handout and then read Act 1 of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Next, answer the reading comprehension questions. Finally, you're going to write your responses to the reading reflection. What do you think? Interested in more? I give you guys additional resources on the bottom of the page, possibly extra credit. I'm still working that out, but I want you to definitely check them out. I know you will like them. So before you read, I give you a little background about how plays are created and why they're written in acts and scenes. So definitely read that. 4 sentences, easy read. The next step you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and define your vocabulary words. Of course, I want you to use what website? Dictionary.com. So go ahead and click on that link if you want to go to dictionary.com, or I wrote it there, to help you define the following words. So the first word is characterization. I even have a cool video for you right here to kind of help you understand why it's so important in literature. And then I went ahead and gave you the definition for this. So you don't have to do that. I did it for you. But I definitely want to know that you guys understand what a monologue and a dialogue is. So those are 2 words I want you to differentiate and define for me this week, right here in these boxes. So moving forward, we're going to understand when a character is participating in a monologue or if they're participating in dialogue, which is really important. After you're done with vocabulary, you want to go ahead and go to reading comprehension questions. And this kind of tells me if you read or not. They're not hard questions, okay? They're questions based on the reading. So the actual script for Romeo and Juliet that I'm going to be reading with you, if you want to read along with me, is going to be this copy right here, and I'm going to post it again in Google Classroom. It's 13 pages long, but we're not going to read all 13 pages. Okay, Act 1 is only the first, I'm actually literally counting right now, the first 5 pages. And it's all in Old English, which can be very, very overwhelming. Some people are like, oh, I don't want to read in Old English. Well, I got you. Don't worry. If you want me to read it with you, you're going to click on these 2 videos right here. So I took 18 minutes to read through the entire Act 1. So there's 2 parts. So the first 13 minutes is part 1. The second half is going to be part 2. You do have to click on both of these videos to read along with me to read the entire section together. Oh, that's me talking. So it's going to look like that, and I read it with you. And you literally can just follow along to me reading it. You don't have to have the script in front of you. Just read with me. If you want to put the script in front of you, do that. It's up to you. Okay? I'm okay with whatever works for you. All right? The next thing that I want you guys to do, oh, one more thing. You have another option. If you want to read on your own, I definitely recommend reading the Sparks Notes, No Fear Shakespeare, and I clicked on that. So you can read through the different scenes. There's actually 5 scenes. They're a little bit longer, but the cool thing about this is they're made so that they're really, really easy to understand. So they took the old English version and they put it into modern English, right? So definitely check that out. Just look at both of them and then make a decision on whatever works for you, okay? And then after you've done the reading and the listening, hopefully the listening with me, you can answer the questions. I have 3 for you. Why is the prince so upset at the end of Act 1, Scene 1? He does get very mad. Tell me why. The second question, in Act 1, Scene 3, Juliet is told by her mother that she is going to be married. The nurse is excited, but how does she feel? Okay. And then in Act 1, Scene 4 and 5, Romeo, Montague, and Juliet Capulet meet at the Capulets' party or masquerade ball, but there's a problem. What is that problem? Just like I would in class, I gave you guys sentence starters, so use them to help you finish answering the questions, okay? After the reading comprehension is done, you're going to want, and you've read it and you've listened to me maybe, or you read it on your own and you can answer these questions. The last thing I want you to do for this 50-point assignment is you're going to go down to the reading reflection. I want to know what you think. So this is a easy question because it's based on your opinion. And I want you to kind of think of what you just read in Romeo and Juliet. And the question is, do you believe in love at first sight? What are the benefits or consequences of falling in love so quickly? Because Romeo and Juliet, spoiler, fall in love in Act 1, okay? I gave you some sentence frames to help you with your response. You can say, I do or do not believe in love at first sight. Okay, that's a complete sentence. You just choose one. Either you do or you do not. Second sentence, some of the benefits of falling in love quickly are, what are some good things or good outcomes or reasons people might fall in love quickly? Your third sentence, some of the consequences can be, or some of the consequences are. So what are some downfalls or negative parts of falling in love so quickly? And then at the end, the last sentence, overall, I think that, okay, what is your final overall opinion? Leave me with something to think about. This should look familiar. It's a CEE response. You're making a claim, okay? You're providing me with evidence. And then finally, you're elaborating. All right, so the majority of your task for this assignment is going to be the reading part, but again, remember, you can read with me, so just click on those 2 icons, and I will be reading with you guys throughout the entire play to make it easier. On the bottom are some just extension activities, so if you want to try new things, you can, or check some more interesting facts out. So I have 2 videos for you here, Shakespeare on Love, hint, hint. He doesn't really love love, but then some people argue he does. I think he hates love. The second video is about performances back in the day. Very cool video. If you want to do a word search, because I know you guys love word searches, I gave you one of those. And then if you are feeling artistic, you can create your own quill. Or maybe you guys want to do this with your siblings, whatever works for you. So those are the 2 points assignments. Again, 50 points for this one, 30 points for the intro to Shakespeare. I will leave you the directions of the actual times that I went over the directions over here on the left, okay? You're going to submit this hyperdoc into Google Classroom when you are done with Act 1. The Act 1 hyperdoc goes into Google Classroom. I have 2 more things for you, but they are just if you need them. So we have tutoring we're offering right now because this is so new to everyone. It's not really easy to walk into Mr. Leon or Mr. Garcia's classroom at lunch and get tutoring. Now you actually have to go out and find it. So we have an Avid and Avid Excel tutoring Flipgrid page.